Darnell with Wave Oven Recipes, and this is my review of the George Foreman Fully Submersible Grill. So I'm going to get it unboxed and bring you right back. Alright, so here's the grill, and this is the power cord. It's a pretty long cord. It's a 3-prong polarized plug, and the grill is 1100 watts. So with that, you'd want to be careful having anything else on the same circuit, because anything else with too much wattage is going to cause the circuit to blow. And the dimensions for the grill are 4 inches in height by 10 inches in width by 11 inches in depth, and this is a 4-serving grill. They say that this grill has a PFAS non-stick ceramic coating, and that's just basically a chemical coating. The ceramic name, don't get that confused at all with like ceramic pots and stuff. It's just, in my opinion, a marketing term for a chemical coating. But they don't say that it's PTFE free, so it probably does have PTFE. And any coating, no matter the chemical, is, it's not like it's all natural, like it came from nature or anything. So don't assume that a chemical is somehow good for you. I'll put it there and leave it at that. Now, as I go further into this review, if it ever does reach a point that's not to your liking, you can always advance to the portion of your choice through the timestamp feature, chapters featured. The timestamps are in the video description. And also here on the channel, there are over 900 videos covering over 100 different types of countertop cookers, so there's plenty here for you to enjoy. Alright, so now I'm giving you a closer up view of the grill, and the paperwork it comes with a manual which has English and Spanish, and it's got a little bit of cooking guidance right there. Also comes with a quick start guide, and just to give you a quick look around the grill, you see the top there, pretty distinctive, and the sides. And you want to be careful when you're on the sides here, because these plates of course get hot, so you don't want to be reaching around on the sides when it's cooking. It might burn your hand. And this is the back of it, and the other side. It's got 2 indicator lights here on the top, right there. And with those indicator lights, like one will be red when you first plug in as it's warming up, and then it goes to green once it's fully heated up. You can also put this in a storage configuration. So if you set it up like this, you can basically have it in that storage configuration setting straight up like that. And you can, store it in your cabinet or what have you. Really convenient. And just to show you inside, you see inside here the plates. The plates are not removable because the whole grill is submersible, and I'll show you how to disassemble it in a moment. But it's got a drip tray down bottom here, and so like when you clean it, you want to take the drip tray out, and I'll go more into other cleaning details later, but you get that drip tray out, and then this part here, you gotta pull that out. So see, you pull that probe out of here, and after you pull that part out, then you've got to take this part here, whoops, pull that part out. And so basically there's a little connector inside there. And so basically when you're going to wash it, you wash basically these pieces here. And these pieces are dishwasher safe. The drip tray is top rack dishwasher safe. The other 2 parts are dishwasher safe wherever you want to put them in the dishwasher. Or you can wash them by hand and you can fully submerge these pieces. This part here is not to be submerged at all. No dishwasher, no putting it under water. If you got to clean it, you just want to use a damp cloth and just kind of wipe things down. And otherwise, if you want to do it by hand, don't use anything abrasive. You just use a wet soapy one to wipe things off, and then a wet one wipe them down, then dry things off thoroughly. And they do say to clean it after every use. So I'm just going to go ahead really quick and put it back together so that we have it all together here. So we put that in, and then we put this back, and then we've got things all, well, you got to make sure you get that probe in the right spot. There we go. So now it's all reassembled and ready to go. And they say that it takes about 4.5 minutes to warm up to go from that red light to the green light. And I want to point out there are no buttons or timers or anything like that on this. Basically it's plugged in and it's grilling, or you unplug it and it's not grilling. That's all there is to it. They give you a caution. They say, note, aerosol cooking spray should not be used on non-stick surface. Chemicals that allow spray to come out of a can build up on surface of grill plates and reduce their efficiency. So you don't want to use any aerosol type of spray can type stuff to think you're helping things be non-stick. You're really going to do the opposite and kind of hinder things over time. And I've seen that happen plenty of times in the past, so don't do it. I do use like a pump sprayer with like some extra light olive oil that I pour in. Don't confuse that with like extra virgin, other types of olive oil. It has a high smoke point. But you know, you want to avoid those aerosol things. You also want to avoid any utensils that may scratch the non-stick surface. And they mentioned that the grill has a cover that has like a hinge that can kind of come up a little bit. You know, if you got like some thick meat, you see how I'm kind of holding it up there. So if you got some thick meat, it can, you know, kind of come up a little bit to kind of, you know, rest over top of that. Now I'm going to do some independent measurements of the grill. So let's see if I do this way, like this here. I'm seeing, well, I guess I need to go over here where it's a little wider. And I guess I'm getting close to 10. I'm not getting exactly 10 inches. I'm getting, seems like under 10. So that's what I'm getting. When I do it here, see in the back, yeah, I'm still not getting 10. I'm getting about 9.5 at this. Yeah, everywhere I go, I'm getting about 9.5. So let's go this way, and this way I'm getting, let's see, I'm getting about 10.5 that way, almost 10.5, a little less than 10.5. And for height, I am getting about 4 inches on the height. Now let me measure with things wide open here. We'll see how high it goes. This way we are getting, well, let me put it back there. Yeah, it's just a little over 10.5. Let's get it right there. Yeah, under 11. Alright, so now I've got the George Foreman next to the Cuisinart Griddler grill and Panini press. Full review of this is here on the channel. And you can see that the Griddler is a little larger. Of course, the Griddler cannot be fully submerged like the George Foreman for its easier cleaning. And the Griddler, you know, it also does kind of like the 2-light thing, just like the George Foreman does. And just showing you the two of them inside, opened up. You see that they're almost same in size. I think the Griddler's just a little bigger, just a small bit bigger overall. And it also kind of has a rocking hinge that you can use as well when you're kind of hovering over food. And the Griddler also, you can press this button and rock it back so that you can cook on both sides open face. You can't rock this back and cook on both sides open face like you can with the Griddler grill. Alright, so now I'm going to get things plugged in here. And now that we got it plugged in, there's a red light on top that's lit up that you may be able to see there, but then it'll go over to the green one a little later. So I don't know if you can see the red light, but I'm going to put it down before things get hot. And we're just going to let it warm up for a moment. Alright, so took a little bit to get it warmed up, but it just switched over to the green light. And so now I'm just going to do a little feeling around, and that's pretty hot. I mean, it's not like, you know, I can touch it, but I'm not leaving my hand there. You can feel the heat kind of radiating off the sides. You know, you really don't want to touch this thing when it gets, you know, once it gets hot and going. Down here on the table, I'm not feeling any heat on the table, so I can leave my hand there and there. And down on the drip pan, it's not hot. So it's not like it's heating up the surface, but you definitely do want to, you know, with any type of indoor grill, you definitely want to use it on a heat-resistant surface. So now I've got a thermal imaging camera here, and we can see the heat through the different colors here, and yeah, it's kind of hotter on the top there. Down here, you know, underneath where the plates come together, you can see the heat there. And then on the sides here, definitely a lot of heat there on the side. Over the top, there are some areas that are hot, I guess depending on how the heat coils are set up. You can see it's, you know, the minimum is kind of low, but the center I'm getting like almost 200 right on the center. So that's pretty hot. The max is like over 200. And then going around, just giving you a back view. And so things, you know, like I said, they can get pretty hot, just giving you a view of the other side. So try not to have anyone who's too young playing around this. Alright, so before I do the toast test, I do want to mention that when you put it back together, make sure that things are able to close fully in the front. If it's not able to close fully in the front, it means you probably didn't put it together right. And if you haven't put it together right and you plug it in, you'll have the red light come on. The top plate might start getting hot, but the bottom one won't, and it'll just run forever like that. And you'll be wondering, well, why doesn't it go to the green light? If it stays on the red light and doesn't go to the green light after an unreasonable amount of time, it's probably because you didn't put it together right, as I have just learned. But with this toast test, I've got 2 slices of my spelt whole wheat light sourdough bread here, and a video of how I make it is here on the channel. But now we're going to go ahead and warm things up. It's already kind of hot, so we'll just let it go ahead and finish its warm up, and then we'll get the bread on in. Alright, so things have just gone green, so I'm going to open on up and get the bread in. Just put a slice over here, a slice right there, and I'm going to give it about maybe 4 minutes, and then I'll open up and see how things look in there. I know many of you are probably saying, you know, leaving it in there for like 4 minutes seems like a very long time for bread, but this bread is very resilient, so it's okay being in there a little longer than your store-bought stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and open up. The light just went green again, like it's fully cooked it. And so I'm going to get these off and then show them to you real quick. Get this other one off. I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down. And so with the bread, we see that the buttered slice got some nice searing on it, and the back side of it also has some nice searing on it. The unbuttered slice got a little searing on the back, also a little searing, so it's able to cook your toast up. Alright, so now for a grill test, I've got a fillet of ahi tuna here. Not sure how much there is there, but it's a pretty nice size thick fillet. And I'm going to coat it with some molasses, blackstrap molasses, and some extra light olive oil. Don't confuse that with like extra virgin olive oil or anything though. Much higher smoke point, and so it's good for this type of cooking. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of the blackstrap molasses, put that into this little ramekin here, like that. And now that I've got that in there, I'm going to take maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of the oil and put those in and just kind of mix things together. Alright, so I took 3 tablespoons of the oil to mix with the molasses. And I'm just mixing things up. Now that I've got that mixed, I'm going to go ahead and get the grill plugged in. The grill's already a little warm, so it should preheat pretty quickly. And while it's heating up, I'm just going to coat the fish with this mixture that I made on both sides. Get some on this side, and get some on the opposite side. And then once the grill's ready, we'll go ahead and put it in. Alright, so I'll preheat it, so get that on in. We'll let that cook for about 10 minutes. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to open up and I'm going to use this heat gun here just to measure the plate temperature. So we're reading about in the 350 range on the plate here. And we see that our fish there got a good grilling. I'm going to go ahead and measure the temperature of the meat before I try getting it off. We're reading like 126, so we're a little undercooked at the moment. So we'll give it probably another 5 minutes and then we'll see where things are at. Alright, so we've given things about 15 minutes total now. So we'll see if things are fully to 145. And let's check here. Yeah, we're a little over. Well, not a little over, but a bit over. And I'm going to go ahead and get it out. You see things were smoking quite a bit during that cook. So it was a bit of a smoky cook. Gonna get this unplugged. I had to, my smoke alarms didn't go off. I made sure to disable them all before. I'll have to re-enable them again. But we've got our finished fish here. Alright, I just gave things a little time to rest and reabsorb juices. I wanted to go ahead and just cut it open, let you see inside. So you see inside there, things, you know, there's juice in there. So things are looking pretty good. So let's talk about the warranty. The grill comes with a 3-year limited warranty. That's pretty nice. And so we saw that the grill was able to grill up the toast very nicely. It was able to grill the tuna very well. And so it's able to do any of your basically closed grilling needs. You can do basically anything that you want to do in a press type of grill, whether it be sandwiches. I'm sure it can cook up sandwiches just fine, or meat, or veggies that you want to press grill, whatever you want to do, it's able to do it. I mean, it's, you know, the classic George Foreman grill style, and so many of us, you know, are used to using that type of a grill, so it's able to do it. And so I hope that you enjoyed this review of the George Foreman Submersible Grill. And nothing in this video is sponsored, nothing given to me. And you can always check out my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. Again, that's superwaveovenrecipes.com. And also, there's lots of ways to help the channel in the video description, such as my cookbook, merch, membership, donations. Link to the Amazon shop where you pay the same price, help the channel. Also, buy me a coffee link there. And as well, if you saw a shop icon here on the Wave Oven Recipes YouTube channel, use the shop icon to buy the grill if you're interested in it. You help the channel through that as well. So that's another way to help. And there are plenty of free ways to help. You could give this video a thumbs up. You can share the video with a friend. You can leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification icon, and good eating.